Hey everybody, it's Becky. I'm back with another video in my Homeschool Heart to Heart series. I will link the other two videos that I have in this series. But this video is going to be about homeschooling co-ops. And if you watched my video, goodness, it's probably been about a year ago, I talked about how much I loved our co-op and how amazing it was and how happy we were. But things slowly started to go downhill a little bit in that category. And so this school year for 2015-2016, we did not sign up with a co-op. And so now I've had a homeschool school year of with a co-op and a homeschooling school year with no co-op. So I really can compare the differences in the 2 years. I was a little worried about not having a co-op or somewhere for them to go to have an educational experience outside of the house. I tried really hard to find things for them to do in some kind of a setting where they could go out and have an activity with other kids their ages. Now, I did do that with 4-H. We have found quite a few 4-H programs to get them out of the house, to teach them a skill. There's 4-H clubs for like everything. It definitely is something to get them out of the house and get them around other kids their age and somewhere to go besides, home all the time, but I don't think it's enough. So, do I miss co-op? Yes. I think I miss part of it. I don't miss all the drama. I don't miss how much work it turned out to be for me. I guess I'm naive, and I know that co-op, is supposed to be a community and cooperative thing where the moms and parents are involved. And I feel like I definitely had my share of involvement. Every parent is supposed to have a job, and I think that I got more jobs than I should have had to have handled on my own. And then after I completed the first job, then there was another huge job that I was supposed to be a part of, and we were going to be out of town for the end of it. Like I was supposed to be on the auction team, and it was this crazy thing, and they wanted so much, so many phone calls you were supposed to make a day to be able to get all these donations. And I got some donations, but I did not have time to make that many phone calls to get that many donations. I think they expected way too much from way too few people, and it just spread everybody too thin, and it just was too much. And then I was paying tuition on top of that, which I felt like, other than the rental cost of the facility that we were in, I don't know what my tuition was going for, because I don't think academically they were doing that much, because there was a tuition fee per month. We had supply fees for each class. And my kids were coming home every Friday, and I was there, and I was like, what did you do today? Oh, we did this, and we had cupcakes, and then we did this. I'm like, where? There was no educational value. So academically, I think the co-op that we were in was a dud. So that being said, I will say though, co-ops do have value, and you can find other co-ops that have way more challenging academics, and you can find some that are basically just a glorified play date, which I think was kind of mine. I guess the co-op we were in was kind of maybe in between. I wouldn't really say it was just a play date, but I don't think it was worth what we were having to pay for tuition, what we were having to pay for supply fees, and what we were having to do as parents to help out with the co-op. I just think it was just too much, and it wasn't worth it. So co-ops do have value. There were some really amazing things about it. It gave my kids the experience that, especially my youngest, because she'd never been in public school. She'd never been in a public school setting. She didn't know what it was like to line up at the door to go to lunch. She didn't know what it was like to have a backpack. She didn't know what it was like to go on a field trip. So those things, which still, in my opinion, have a lot of value, are still things that I want for them to have. And so I'll link the video that I made below about our co-op, and so you can kind of watch the day when I was so happy with it and the things that I loved about it, and then you'll be able to hear now kind of at the end of it what really ended up happening. So the stuff that I said in that first video about why we loved co-op, those things are still true. I love the fact they were able to have book bags, and they were able to have a lunchtime. They were able to go on field trips a lot more easily because we were with a group versus me trying to call different places and plan a field trip when we're just the four of us that want to go out. I think I said yearbook. Yearbook was a big deal. I loved they had a yearbook, and they had school pictures that I can still put in a school memory book instead of just being nothing because we homeschool and just a picture I took myself, and just being around kids their own age. We do miss co-op, at least the benefits of a co-op. I don't necessarily want to say I don't miss that co-op at all, but I do miss the experience that the girls were having and the opportunities that they were able to have through a co-op. Now, I am looking into maybe doing a co-op again next year. Obviously, it would be a different one because our old co-op, that's kind of a bridge that I burned, and I'm not going to go back. I think some people probably got mad that we didn't finish out the year, and that didn't sit well with some of the people. But you know, whatever. There are a couple more co-ops that are in the area that we might look into doing next year. I know one of them though is probably on the end of the spectrum with the very academically challenging. You actually have to purchase textbooks for that one, and of course then there's your monthly tuition and all that stuff. So I'm trying to decide if that's something that we're gonna do, or maybe if we might even see if we could join a co-op in a surrounding city just to see if they have some more opportunities for us. So if you're looking into a co-op, don't let this be something that scares you away, and don't let the parent involvement part scare you away. Just make sure that when you sign up, that you're not afraid to tell them, you know, if they give you a job that maybe you don't want or you think is too much for what you have time to handle or something like that, then make sure you speak up in the beginning. Understand exactly what your responsibility is going to be as a parent, both with tuition and any type of involvement that you're required to have, any type of job that you're required to have. Definitely be clear in the beginning about what the responsibilities are for that, and then decide if that's something that you want to go forward with. There's a lot of value in co-ops. There's tons of co-ops out there. This is just my experience with only one co-op of the many that are out there. So I don't want this to sway you and make you think, well, co-ops sound really boring, because they loved it. The kids loved it. They loved it. But they weren't the ones that were having to put up with the fees, helping out so much, and then just not really feeling like there was enough benefit to them academically. Yeah, they got to go on field trips. Yeah, they had a lunchtime. But after a while, the money we were paying a month was basically, I was just paying for them to go out and hang out with other kids and have lunch away from home with other kids. And that really wasn't worth it to me. If you're a part of a co-op, let me know what your experience is. Have you had a good experience? Have you had kind of an experience similar to mine? But I am going to continue to look into them for them, because I do think it's important. They do have value, and I don't mind paying the monthly fee if I feel like we're getting in return what we're paying for, which I didn't feel like in this case with the co-op that we had. So I hope this was helpful. I don't know. It's just, I wanted to share this with you guys because I have had quite a few people ask us about our co-op and about our co-op experience. And I don't want to just leave that video up there of how much I love it and it was all happiness and rainbows, because it turned out to be, I have some downsides too that I just didn't feel like they were worth the hassle or the money, basically. So don't be afraid to shop around. Just because you have joined a co-op does not mean that you have married this thing and you have to live with it the rest of your life. If you are not happy or your kids are not happy, then you have the right to find something else, because ultimately it is about finding the right fit for your kids, but also for you. You're their parent. You're the one that's taking them there. You're the one that's paying for it. You're the one that is expecting the co-op to give them a certain experience, whether that be socially or academically or both. And if you're not happy with that and you feel like your co-op is not giving you that, then you don't have to be with them forever. You have the right to leave. And I didn't sign a contract that said I was going to stay for an entire school year. And when I decided to leave, it caused a problem because they did not think that I should leave before the year was over, and basically I was told, if you leave, then you cannot come back to this co-op. So I'm a tough chick. I have been barred from a co-op, but that's okay. I don't mind. I wasn't planning on going back anyway. We were leaving for a reason, and I certainly did not want to go back next school year. So I'm going to find something else. But I just wanted to share this with you guys to let you know kind of both ends of the spectrum, the experience that I had both with a co-op and without a co-op. And to let you know that there's plenty of options out there for you guys. Do your research, plan ahead, get on a waiting list if you find a co-op that you're interested in joining. But if it's not working for you, then it's not working for you, and you need to be able to leave without ruffling feathers when you do it. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any comments, suggestions, thoughts. I plan on making more videos in the Homeschool Heart to Heart series. It just, as they come to me or as I have things I want to share with you guys, that is when you will see those pop up. Otherwise, I make videos every week, at least once a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those. But I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.